So the president with a real head scratcher while unveiling his budget plan yesterday. After years of Democrat leaders slashing police budgets or supporting cuts, he gave this hot take.
MAGA Republicans are calling for defunding the police department and defunding the FBI now. That's a good one. I like that one. I don't want to defund them. We're going to provide 100,000 more community policing officers nationwide.
Reaction fast and furious, as you can imagine. One critic, quote, "It's like a bad stand-up routine at this point." Another, "Pathological liar confirmed." And one more, "He's basically a zombie. He has no clue what he's saying." Let's bring in former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson and Jonathan Cott, former senior advisor to Senator Joe Manchin and partner at Capitol Counsel. All right. First of all, once again, every single time that the word MAGA comes out of his mouth, I cringe. I mean, I literally cringe because that is his only that is his only go-to. He doesn't know how else to hit Republicans than to call them "Make America Great Again" Republicans. Congressman, tell me, first of all, your reaction to the president's remarks.
Well, he's living in an alternative universe. Whenever he talks about Republicans and however he would characterize them as wanting to defund the police, he's simply wrong. And in fact, the left-leaning Democrats have continually hurt the police in terms of policy, bad policy, no bond requirements for release from jail, and then also in terms of their rhetoric. They have continually undermined confidence in the police. You contrast that to states like Arkansas, in which I led the effort to give each police officer in Arkansas a $5,000 bonus. That is encouraging them, that is supporting the men and women in blue through our state police and local law enforcement as well. And so he is missing the mark, obviously, and he's trying to create this atmosphere in which there is not unity on the Republican side and there is unity in support of law enforcement and the rule of law itself.
I mean, Jonathan, how does the president accuse MAGA Republicans of wanting to defund the police? I mean, seriously, Republicans have been doing nothing but trying to protect the police by allowing the police to get more funding in order for them to do their jobs and to reduce crime. It's the Democrats that, in fact, have been wanting to put more pressure on defunding the police for political reasons, and that hasn't gotten us anywhere.
Well, I think two things to be clear. One, it's a fringe group of Democrats who talked about defunding the police. That's
exactly.
not the part of the Democrats.
I'm talking extreme.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's not
talking
I'm
mainstream,
part of the Democratic
but it's happened
Party.
in a lot of Democratic cities.
Sure. Look, there are far-left extremists who think that's a good idea. I'm part of the Democratic Party with Joe Biden that doesn't. That's why his budget has billions and billions of dollars helping, giving police the tools they need, but also helping make our cities safer. That's, I think, the biggest problem. And look, when he says they want to defund the FBI, he's correct there. I just looked it up. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Andy Biggs, Matt Gaetz, all talked about defunding the FBI. So he's just using their words against them like he did at the State of the Union. I think Republicans are going to have to answer for what they've said in the past. Also, with crime, he's looking at it in a holistic way. He's looking at it how we address mental health, how we get more cops on the street, how we make communities safer. All due respect to the governor of Arkansas, giving them a $5,000 bonus is great, but Arkansas was the fourth deadliest crime rate in the country. That's not something that's helpful to police. Police need more than just rhetoric and money. They need us to make our cities safer, make sure guns aren't getting into there. That's why the president's focused on so many areas. You
gotta wonder, and I gotta move on onto another topic, but you gotta wonder if this is going to hurt the president if he chooses to run for office, which we believe he will be when it comes to that, because these are the comments that bite you when it comes to the campaign trail. I gotta move on. The cringe continues when it comes to comments from the vice president. Speaking of comments, her latest gem about climate change.
One of the young leaders was talking to me about climate mental health. I said, tell me what's going on with your peers. Climate mental health. The one example is, whether when they're ready, could they start a family? Yes. Worried about what that would mean and the stress of it.
Layup for critics. Here's a tiny sample. These people are insane and fundamentally unserious. Climate mental health? We're being led by some of the most fearful, neurotic, and narcissistic people in history. And climate alarmism is mental health abuse of young people. I mean, obviously, climate mental health is something that I think she just made up. I don't know. I've never heard of anyone who suffers from climate mental health. Governor, you?
Well, no, but also when you think about the worry about the next generation and the teenagers, it's not climate mental health. It's about the risk of fentanyl that's coming across our border in uncontrolled fashion. It is about our education system that needs more choice and opportunity for those that are in failing schools. These are the things that worry parents, but also kids who want to start in life and want to be able to have opportunity. They look at a system that should be open to them, and it's not climate that there's worry. Now, they might be worried about getting the high price of gasoline. They might be worried about getting to their next job and those inflation costs, but it's not climate that on the forefront of their mind or their parents' mind.
Jonathan, we got a minute left in this show, so I just want to give you a final word there.
I'm not sure what climate mental health is. I'm sure there are some kids who are suffering from that in some areas. I do think, look, climate is becoming a bigger issue. She's from California. We have once in a century, floods and storms happening every other year now. We've had, I'm from New York. We had Sandy. I never thought I'd see the streets of New York flooded. We've had hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires. We do need to address this stuff. I don't know if that's actually what's bothering the youth of America today. I think maybe they should stay off TikTok and, get outside and be more active.
All right.
But,
Maybe Kamala Harris should just stay off talking. I don't know, because she's just throwing Democrats into a frenzy even. So every time she says something, everybody's sort of scratching their heads. Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, thank you very much. And Jonathan Cott, thank you. Thank you for watching the Faulkner Focus. Have a great weekend.